What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode of Live from the Lair. All right, now, I know we've been doing quite a few shows in regards around the whole immigration thing. The reason we're breaking it up is it's such a huge subject. It cannot be covered in 1 2-hour podcast. It just can't. And we really need to be aware that an enemy army is being imported into our country using our own compassion and mercy against us. All right. And I'm just trying to educate everyone out there because it's going to get to the point where they're going to have numbers They're going to make a move, and we are completely unprepared. Our alphabet agencies no longer are focusing outside, but now they're focusing on people who actually want to maintain this country, turning us into enemies. And the double standards and hypocrisy that's going on. I mean, we have immigrants beating up cops, doing all kinds of stuff, getting probation, getting let right out. And we have white guys or conservative guys, race doesn't matter, stand up for themselves, protect themselves using the Second Amendment or what have you, and they're getting ran up the flagpole. That's only going to last so long. Once the general population has had enough of that treatment, they will lose all of their confidence in, one, the government, and two, the police, and then it's going to get real, especially if it's stacked upon not being able to eat, not being able to heat your home, drive around. If they lock everyone down, we're Americans, goddammit. We are probably not going to tolerate that. Well, let me correct myself. The mindless drones, useful idiots in the blue cities and the blue states will, quote unquote, go along with it. In those blue states, they're probably all of those blue cities are surrounded by a majority of red counties. And you will start seeing them say, no, we're not going along with this. And it's literally going to turn in, and I've done a whole video on this. It's going to be rural America versus big city America. And that's how it's going to work out. I hope it doesn't happen. All right. Historically speaking, I'm going back to the fall of the Roman Empire. A lot of same parallels are taking place. We've read the news articles that they're allowing illegal immigrants into the military. They want to introduce them into being law enforcement. I mean, it's just off the chain. I mean, and it is what it is. I literally wake up at night worried about this stuff. I know Steve is like, no, don't worry about it, man. It's already done deal. Let's let it go. I can't. This is how I operate. I can't stand by and say and do nothing when shit is going off the rails. I'm just not that guy. Winning! All right, and we have Blake's not here tonight. It's Battle Dwarf, the Tuesday analyst guy. And
I've become the Tuesday analyst.
And we have the evil button-pushing monkey, otherwise known as Evil Shaggy, in the house.
How's it going, everybody?
All right, now let us know in the comments if you guys have actually been following this craziness that's going on. I'm going to be honest here. There's a lot of stories that are not being picked up by the mainstream media because they don't want the general America to know. But there's acts of violence taking place between these illegal immigrants and U.S. citizens, the police forces, and we have.
Oh yeah, that's well underway.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah,
and it's literally happening under our fucking noses. And most people out there are completely oblivious because they watch the Super Bowl or their sports, and all they want is their beer and sports.
Yeah,
and it's going to take something like, hey, my house is cold and I have no gas, or the lights don't work, or my refrigerator, the magic box of coldness that always fills with food, is no longer producing food. That's when a lot of those idiots are going to wake up. And then coming back from that, it's really, really hard.
Or, hey, what are these nice, charming Congolese men doing in my backyard with machetes?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They must be wanting to prune the bushes. No, they want to prune you.
Yeah, that's pretty, it's pretty freaking ridiculous what's going on. We've covered a lot over the last couple of shows, but like Pop said, the reason that we broke all of this up is there are so many pieces, and we wanted to keep it manageable. Tonight's Anarchy in the USA is about the violence that's coming in, what vectors it's coming in by, and what kind of violence you're looking at right now, what kind of violence you might expect. One of the big things is the sheer escalation of what's happened. Now, the unauthorized immigrant population in the United States of America from 1990 to 2018, you're looking at that here, and you can see that right around 1995, it starts to get a little weird. And then by 2005, it's obvious that
Yeah.
this is a staged event.
And this one actually does, it only goes to 2018. It's 6 years ago.
Yes,
It's probably even higher now.
that's correct. That is absolutely correct. This proves that this is a manufactured event.
Yes.
At no point in human history anywhere has this sort of mass migration taken place, and it certainly hasn't taken place across thousands of miles and a couple of oceans.
No, it happened once in the past.
Where?
The Sea Peoples in the Bronze Age when they.
Incorrect. Absolutely incorrect, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Eventually, yes, the numbers would match.
Uh-huh.
But the Sea Peoples started migrating sometime around 6000 BC.
Okay.
They continued to migrate, and the Phoenicians were Sea People.
Yeah.
They ended up in the Levant and then eventually up around Spain. Then you had the Hunneberg Celts up around the northern Austrian border that were trading with the Phoenicians. They were also part of the Sea Peoples. But those migration levels took place over thousands of years.
Okay.
To get to these kind of numbers here.
Yeah, you're right.
So you are technically correct until you realize that the timeline is kind of like this.
The numbers are wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in 2005, so late 2005, early 2006, I was recovering from my TBI. And right around that time is when my mind went back into focus. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I started to write down a list of how I would take over the world.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now I showed him the list. I'm going to go through it real quick here, but you will see there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here. And my supporters that were on Sunday, I covered this with them, and I want to apologize to all of them. The computer took a shit. I rebooted and the stream was lost. Murphy got us that day. I apologize. It is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight. If the stream cuts off, you know what happened. The computer's bad. All right. So 10 ways, or actually 10 steps in any particular order on how to control the world. Number 1, you destroy the population, reduce it to manageable levels. This was covered in the Georgia Guidestones. Don't educate your young properly so they can, they're dumb. And if you're dumb, you're easily fooled.
Teach them about lube and butt sex.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now. Instill fear. If you are terrified or scared, you can be herded into a death trap. And by the time you realize it, you're surrounded on all 3 or maybe 4 sides, and you're done. Next is destroy religion, which, Steve pointed out started in the 1930s. But I would say after the 1970s through the 1980s, it really picked up speed. And the reason they want to remove religion is they want to take any kind of morals or ethics out of the equation. Because those used to get those in 2 places, at church or your religious institution, and from your family.
It's also a big part of foundational belief, where you're from.
Yes.
How you think of your people and where you're from.
That's right. And once you take out that mortar, you can break the rocks up a lot easier. Next, and we're seeing it right now, and I've covered it in the opening statement for the show. They weaponize mercy and compassion against us. Because all of these immigrants, the left is pushing the narrative like, well, we have to share the prosperity. Listen, a boat only holds so many people before it swamps. All right. An animal can only survive so many parasites before it dies. These are facts. This is not conjecture. All right.
Yeah, a good example of that, by the way, is the whole early 1980s. Some of you might not even have been alive for this. In the 80s, there was the whole Feed the World.
Oh, yeah.
All of the artists got together and bleeding heart all over to save the African babies who are starving. And Bob Geldof put it all together. And that was the weaponization of compassion. That was the dry run.
That was the dry run.
To see how people would react.
Number 6, control the media and information. Now, all of our mainstream media is owned by 6 corporations. Okay. Our information is being controlled by 3 companies: Microsoft, Apple, and Google. Number 8, corrupt the leaders. And this can be done with money, blackmail, extortion. If I recall, we've got Hunter Biden implicated direct money exchanges, and he may or may not have his father involved. We have to have a court case to determine that.
There's the Heidi Fleiss scandal, the Madam of D.C.
Yes.
There's Epstein Island.
That's the extortion piece.
That's Hunter's money.
Yep.
Basically, what it boils down to, I think we mentioned this on a show one night, is there are a dozen schools where anybody who gets elected to any kind of office at all has to come from one of those schools, and they've got something on every one of those people. You can't advance above janitor or receptionist in Washington, D.C. without some dirt on you somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's where the blackmail and extortion comes in.
Exactly.
Now, if you are not willing to play ball, you will be A, pigeonholed, or killed.
No, wow.
I'm just saying. Number 8, bribe the population. And we should all know about this trick because the Roman Empire did this towards the end when they built the Colosseums and they would give out free bread. They literally were robbing and bribing their population. They're robbing their freedoms and keeping them quiet with entertainment and bread.
Wow.
Number 9, weaponize the law mechanisms against its own population. Every single dictator that has ever gotten to power has pulled this trick. And we're seeing the exact same thing happen here with our alphabet agencies and law enforcement agencies. Number 10, divide and conquer.
Yep.
10 steps. Almost every single one is in play right now. Like the divide and conquer, we're being divided via religion, gender, race.
Sports ball team.
Yeah, I mean,
you think the Taylor Swift thing isn't manufactured?
Oh no, it totally is. But I mean, that's what's happening here, and it's such a big flow chart and such a big subject. We can only really talk about 1 or 2 of these at a time. I'm planning down the road to have a classic whiteboard moment where I cover all this. Probably have Steve in it, and we'll make it a lot more condensed, like maybe 20, 30 minutes. And we'll get it released with all of the links for all of the news articles and studies and statistics that prove that the list of 10 to control the world. What do you think's happening at the WEF and the EU? The EU, they started their own euro, their own currency. They got all of the countries hooked into it. They're going after the food supply. We've had a whole bunch of food processing plants mysteriously burned down here in the States. We're selling a lot of our farmland away to individuals who probably are not going to use it to do anything good with. This is a serious issue. No one's covering it effectively, in my opinion. You're getting snippets here and there. But let's face it, our mainstream media is now state-sponsored propaganda, which is literally getting its orders from the global elites.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I just had a weird moment where somebody from 16 years ago just reached out to my phone, and I just had to tell them, doing a show right now, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
It's one of those weird moments. These things happen every now and then. The modern technology, isn't it a wonderful thing? All of a sudden your phone rings and it's somebody that's like from 23. How the hell did you find me?
Well, here's the thing, Steve. We need to educate as many people as we can.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we do not have a broad reach on YouTube, but I have meticulously moved a lot of our videos to various video channels across the internet, across the world. If I could, read some of the foreign languages, I would have them put there as well. But right now, I got to crack that code. And one of the main reasons I did that is because I am a school-trained experienced, trained, former Green Beret, and I understand unconventional warfare to, I would say, the highest levels. And that's exactly what I did with this podcast and my videos. I am distributing them on several different nodes across the country and the world. Whoever will watch it. So please, if you see this video, share it, because it's probably going to get demonetized, if not pulled down. And in fact, we just had remember System Surfer, Steve?
Yeah.
That's like 6-7 years old. They pulled that down.
System Surfer's older than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of your older videos, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It was like 2014, 13-ish.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
And a decade later, they're just pulling it down.
It just, their whole model is going to fall apart at one point, but we're going down various rabbit holes.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to stay on.
Let's get back to we've talked about what's coming across the border. We did immigration invasion. You saw that episode and everything. So what you're not hearing on the news, and it's only coming across in little tiny snippets, is our northern border in New York and Maine is also being overrun with illegal immigrants. And the thing is, people are incredibly desperate, and we all know what happens when people are desperate. They'll do just about anything to accomplish their goals, said Favreau, who's a police chief up around New York. Okay, illegal immigrants are coming across in Canadian and New York winters. Nobody migrates in that kind of weather. You just don't do it. You're going to die
unless you're being ordered to do it.
Or you're being told that you're going to be just fine, or you're going to be paid, etc. Which means this is a paid and assisted and sponsored operation. Nobody migrates in that kind of weather. Look, I spent a year on the DMZ, two winters on the DMZ in Korea. There were days where I literally thought in Chorwon sector, I thought I was going to die. That's where the Frozen Chosen happened.
Yep.
I literally thought, this is it. I'm just going to be a popsicle.
But here's another thing. I was stationed in New York State for 5.5 years.
Yeah. You were at Drum.
Yeah. Oh, I was in Utica, but I reported to Drum. All right. Now, when this gets bad, we all know almost all of New York is red, except for New York City and several of the surrounding counties. Once this gets dynamic, those white trash and red trash individuals who live in that portion of New York State are probably going to handle their business.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's going to happen. That'll happen in Michigan. That'll happen in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you've got a rural population that's entrenched and been there for a while. I wouldn't want to be an illegal alien in Appalachia.
Nope.
That will not go well for you, because those hill people just disappear you.
Ding, 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 ding.
Peninsula is the same thing. The hillbillies in Arkansas, they'll just straight up disappear you. No, Don't even bother trying to look for anybody that disappears up there.
All right, let's cover this one here.
We're going with illegal immigrants inside the United States. Chilling letters warn of 10/7 style attacks. What they're talking about is when Hamas attacked Israel. There's nothing surprising about the all-out invasion taking place at the U.S.-Mexico border. Biden's policy since day one guaranteed this result, but in addition to the record-setting number of illegal immigrants turning themselves over to border agents after unlawfully entering the United States, there has also been a similar, potentially more alarming surge in both the number of apprehended illegal immigrants on American terror watch lists and the number of known gotaways slipping into the United States. Now, the theory that I hear the most is there's two theories that I hear the most. One is this is a UN army. Okay, I'm going to nip that in the bud right now. First of all, the UN can't raise, not that they won't try. The UN is not capable of raising an army that could sack the United States of America. They don't have the know-how. They don't have the expertise, even with our generals and our equipment. It's a lot harder than you think to manage division level forces.
I mean, we just came up with the division level stupid.
We did come up with a division level stupid. I've seen a lot of it.
Yes.
The other one is all of these guys coming across the border are actually members of terror cells. Okay, partially true. Quite a few of them are. We know quite a few of them are. That's fairly obvious. Now, that fork splits again at the terrorists here. I have a theory on that. Those terrorists are doing their thing elsewhere for the most part, but they're coming here to the United States for free training grounds, free money.
Yeah.
They all get on EBT and they send all of that money back overseas. It's a cash funnel.
Yeah. I mean, that is a way to look at it.
They have safe training areas like Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, Michigan is essentially Pakistan at this point. It's gone. Dearborn, Michigan is essentially Pakistan. We have huge areas of open land. We know there are 3 terrorist training camps just in Michigan alone.
I've done a whole video on that in one of my zombie apocalypse videos from back in the day.
So
I covered that already.
I don't think the terrorists are coming here specifically to do violence. We might see a couple of acts. I would believe that we will see some acts in some of the cities as they lash out at targets that they just want to get rid of.
Okay. I would agree. I agree with you partially with your statement.
Okay. We're wargaming here.
The only thing, in my opinion, that goes against that hypothesis is the amount of Chinese individuals showing up on our
I didn't get to them yet.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Listen, CCP doesn't let people out of the country willy-nilly.
That's correct. That is correct. You don't even travel inside the country without proper documentation.
That's right. You have a hard time moving between certain provinces without the proper moving order and documentation.
Correct. So when I'm talking about the terrorists, I'm talking about the Iranians, the Yemenis, the Beirutis, what have you, that particular sect of terrorism. The Chinese, I don't classify them as terror.
No.
This article is specifying terror. The Chinese, they're definitely an organized, orderly force. They'll definitely have some form of instructions. I think that forks as well. You're going to have the CCP element, which is the organized military and spies, point blank. They're going to be spies.
Mm-hmm.
And then China has a real opportunity right now because they've got a female problem, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They did that whole one-child thing for decades, didn't they?
Yep.
They've got too many men, don't they?
And
here, America, have a bunch of chink boys.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, can't say that.
I can't say that. But here's the thing here. Castro emptied the prisons and sent them all across
and asylums,
the ocean, and they got asylum here.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
All right. Now, when it comes to the Chinese, technically they're not a terror organization until they take action.
Correct.
Because if they have the numbers, there's very few things more terrorizing than an active army you're fighting against. And listen, you have how many millions of people? They're saying there's like 22 to 32 million individuals in this country illegally.
We believe the numbers are around 34 million.
Yeah. That is, if you just break it down and you're like, okay, how many of them are actually combat effective or military serving age? I would have to say almost all of them, because that's what's coming across the border. Men between the ages of 16 and 48.
Well, here, this senior FBI executive who spoke for this article says military-age men from across the globe, many from countries or regions not friendly to the United States of America, are there any anymore, are landing in waves on our soil by the thousands, not by splashing ashore from ship or parachuting, but rather by foot across a border that has been accurately advertised around the world as largely unprotected with ready access granted.
Yep.
As Town Hall watched along the Mexican border over the weekend, another group of illegals walked up to the border wall to surrender, claim asylum, and be processed. The 22 illegal immigrants included 4 unaccompanied children and 1 single adult male seen entering by the town hall. Those poor children will be trafficked. I am so sorry for those children. I genuinely am. It's sickening and horrible, but that's what's going to happen to them.
And let's
deal with it. That's what's going to happen.
The slavery and the trafficking thing, that's been going on for thousands of goddamn years.
Yes, never stopped.
Yeah, it never stopped.
The idea that, okay, look, the first countries to outlaw slavery were white Western countries. It's just true. It's just true. Some of the Asian countries followed later. Slavery wasn't outlawed in Korea until 1948.
Wow. Okay.
For an example, I know slavery still goes on in Thailand. I've seen that. I know slavery still goes on in North Africa. Seen that.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Listen, we all know, like, the Marines got sent to Northern Africa.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s to deal with that.
The Barbary Coast pirates.
Yeah, it's never stopped.
Yep, that is correct. And they still pick Americans off. We had an incident in, I think this is old enough that I can tell without telling the actual names behind it, but a young American female was disappeared from Seattle, Washington, and showed up in North Korea
Wow.
as a member of a pleasure brigade.
Oh, whoa.
I can't go into more detail than that, but I am aware of an American female being kidnapped from American soil and taken to North Korea.
Yep.
I can't go into more detail than that. So these guys are all flooding across the border here. It's millions of them. We're at 34 million at this point. That's 4 American cities.
It's 10% of our population. Yeah. Right now. This is a serious issue.
Yes. And we discussed this with another one of the episodes where we pointed out that the actual heritage population of the United States of America, which is primarily white people, just is to the tune of 90%, is fine numbers wise. Our numbers have not gone down. That's a myth. But we've got so many illegals coming into the country. And more, the problem becomes that it's violence.
Yes.
And can we see this screen now? Okay.
Yeah, good. I see it. Yeah, and this was very distressing to me when I sent it to you.
FBI Director Wray confirms the border crisis poses major homeland security threat. DH Secretary Mayorkas. We already know Mayorkas is owned. We watched that happen.
Yes.
In the hearing, members received confirmation of the urgent national security threat posed by the nearly 1.8 million known gotaways and the rising number of individuals on the terror watch list apprehended crossing the southwest border, especially as America's enemies, including Iran-backed Hamas and Hezbollah. There are 82 separate factions in Beirut alone.
Yep.
That are fighting against each other. Okay. So they say these names because that's what makes nice headlines. There's like hundreds of these and they're all crazy. So they've been emboldened to spread their malign influence following the October 7th terrorist attacks on our ally Israel. Wray confirmed these facts in his testimony and alluded to Chairman Green that the national security consequences of the crisis have turned every state into a border state. I know this to be true. I can't think of a single state that's not having some sort of a problem right now. And now we start to get to the heart of what we want to talk about tonight, because let's go. I'm going to find this specific article. Where did that one go, man?
Which one?
The Puget.
The Puget Sound?
There, I found it.
There it is.
I found it.
Yeah, and before you bring that up there, Steve, it was I was keeping an eye on the chats there. The House impeached Mayorkas from 214 to 213 vote. We have
he has been impeached.
He has been impeached. Well, the vote took place, but it ain't going to pass in the Senate. But 3 Republicans defected and voted with the Democrats. Other than that, it was vote.
Yeah, and that just proves we don't have 2 parties. We have 1 party.
That is correct. That is correct. And where the hell did this article go? Because we had it right here.
Which one? I don't know. Yeah.
The one with Puget Sound. Okay. So I'm going to run with this one because it serves the same function. And of course we lost that tab. You know why? Murphy. If it can happen, it will. That's actual Murphy's Law, by the way. If it can happen, it will happen. Gang's all here thanks to Biden's open border, the borderline. All we need are these faces right here. I've seen faces like this in Michigan already. Chances are anybody who lives in Texas, Arizona, Nevada, California, Chicago has seen faces like this as well. The article that I cannot find, however, was the drug gangs, the violent Central American drug gangs that sell the meth have moved into Puget Sound. Pop, you were stationed in Seattle for a while at Lewis.
Mm-hmm. I was 40 minutes away. No, 37 minutes away from Seattle.
Oh, actually, Steve, was it from Courier Journal? Is that the one you're looking for? All right, I've got those up. I'll drop it in the private chat there for you.
Okay.
Let me know if that's the right one.
I'm looking at one right here.
Yeah, I don't know how I lost that. Here we
It's
go.
from USAT. The level of violence is terrifying. Mexican cartels targeting tranquil Puget Sound City.
There we go. We got it. We're good.
That's it. Yeah, it's the same.
That level of violence is terrifying. Mexican cartels target tranquil Puget Sound. So Puget Sound, for those of you who do not know, is a nice area in Washington, and that's where the nice people live and the nice houses are.
I used to scuba dive in the Puget Sound 2 times a month for years.
Yeah. It is a really, really nice place. These drug gangs have figured out that Americans are stupid, weak, lazy, and our police have been completely hobbled. So they'll buy houses in these nice neighborhoods. And now you've got a violent drug cartel living next to you in your $500,000 house on Puget Sound.
That's bad.
That is bad. Port Orchard, Washington, a Mexican super cartel brought its deadly drugs and violence to the tranquil and remote waterfront community of Port Orchard, a 90-minute ferry ride west of Seattle. So this is way down the Sound.
Yeah.
Here on the Kitsap Peninsula, attracts hikers, bikers, golfers, boaters, and members of a top U.S. target. The cartel is the Jaliscos. This is the one where I told you their Mexican Special Forces 2 battalions defected.
3 battalions.
3? Was it 3?
3.
Oh.
At least that's what I read.
I believe it. The cartel, known as CJNG, set up a meth conversion lab here years ago as part of a Western Washington drug cell that pummeled the region. Now, for you to understand what this means, these guys no longer have any boundaries. They are no longer afraid of you. Here's what Puget Sound normally looks like. Here's a nice picture of it. These Jaliscos are incredibly well equipped, incredibly dangerous. Here's another picture of the town that they're invading. And they will just go through and systematically kill law enforcement and anybody who gets in their path. These guys do not care.
Yep.
They'll take the town over like an old bad Western movie. And here on the screen is a picture of that cartel. That's not an organized government army. That is a drug cartel army. You care to identify some of the weapons that are there?
There's 50s, there's AK-74s. You can tell by the straighter magazines.
Yeah.
There's a 240 on the guy on the right.
Yep.
Pig gunner.
Yep.
And
there's a 203.
I didn't see. Oh yeah, there's a 203
on the third guy from the right. And then the guy on the 50, see that on his back there?
That's an AR-15, isn't it?
No, that's a drum-fed 40 mic.
Wow.
Look at the drum.
I don't know if that's
back there.
Is it?
Yeah, that looks like a drum.
But I mean, this is crazy ass shit right here.
Yeah, this is real serious bad news. And these guys are in sleepy American suburban neighborhoods now. If they decide to, they will just take the town, and it will take a real serious effort to
take it back. Yeah.
They
That is how you make no-go zones, which already exist all over the EU.
That is correct.
I mean, it's already taken place in the EU. You can see examples in Sweden.
Yes.
In
Malmo,
France.
Malmo is completely no-go now.
Yeah.
It's completely overrun by Turks.
There you go.
Yep. And because of the legislation and government in Washington, citizens can no longer defend themselves because, well, hey, the 2A, that doesn't matter to us anymore.
We're just going to have to start defending ourselves, period.
Like I said when we started, it's just a matter of time before people say, you know what? My government doesn't really have my best interest at heart. Fuck them. We're going to have to defend ourselves. Texas is already doing it. They've shut their border down.
Yes.
And it's starting to overwhelm the states next to Texas because they're just going around Texas now.
Yeah. So the stuff that you're allowing you to see is things like this: scooter riding illegals drag woman down street and into the pole on a video in wave of migrant crime. Surveillance video captures suspected migrant moped muggers. Now, for those, this is another thing that is a phenomenon in particularly North Africa and South America, and you might have even seen this. There are criminal moped gangs, and Italy as well. We were told to watch out when we were in Vincenza for the moped snatchers
or the assassins.
Yeah.
That happened in South America all the time.
It happened
in the 80s and 90s.
Italy when a naval admiral was assassinated back in like 1980. I think it was Admiral Dozer. He was killed by a moped gang, by Red Brigades. this has come to America. It is here now. These gangs rove around on mopeds, and this is the low-level stuff. We took it all the way to the extreme, showing you Puget Sound right away.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the other end of the spectrum, but this
Is the beginning.
is like cockroaches.
It's the beginning.
And where there's one of these gangs, there will be hundreds, and it will spread from city to city to city. New York also has a problem with Venezuelan prostitution. The Venezuelan prostitutes just walking around in the street with like no tops.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because they don't care.
Yeah. I mean, and they probably were trafficked up here.
Yes, that is correct. Members of a migrant crime gang, I love how they use the word migrant, like we're supposed to be sympathetic to that, dragged a woman down a New York City street, grabbing her purse and setting her into a steel pole. The incident happened in late December, but the video gained widespread attention on Monday when police announced arrests. Well, these police will do these arrests, and then the DAs
just lets them go.
They just let them go.
Yeah, or probation.
Yeah,
and like this is beyond when it gets to this level, and you have prosecutors letting them go or judges letting them go. That is not done by accident.
No, that is absolutely by design. And people say, "Well, what do we do? They're the judges." And so, here's the thing about
number 7: corrupt leaders. Money, blackmail, extortion.
That is correct. What is going to end up eventually having to happen is people are going to have to, 1, grow a pair.
Mm-hmm.
2, we're going to have to organize ourselves. And there are laws about these things and about judges like this and about politicians like this. There are laws on the books.
Yep.
We just need the courage to start enforcing them.
Here's another thing that they're trying to do. They're trying to pass laws so you can't organize and form your own militia. You can't train.
Yes. A Democrat, Jamie Raskin out of Maine, has attempted to put a bill out there. I don't remember the number of the bill, but it is so that you cannot form a private militia of any kind, which is the first clause of the Second Amendment.
Yes, it is.
Of the Bill of Rights.
Plus, you have the right to congregate.
Correct.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And listen, I mean, if this thing gets really bad, it's gonna, for a while, it's gonna devolve into a bunch of small actions. 6, 12, 25 guys on at a time. And you need to have small unit tactics for that.
Oh, you're talking about that. I was talking about the judge level. I was going to say it's already gotten bad. The Christmas killer who ran over a parade of grandmothers and children, he got like 6 years. But the guy who bumped a girl in Charlotte, and the video is there, you can see he just barely hits her.
Yeah.
And then she's seen afterwards sitting on the sidewalk having a cigarette, but then she has a heart attack. That guy got 441 years.
Wow.
They're calling it white supremacy. Or the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia, where the guy who was holding the camera filming as the other guy fought with Ahmaud Arbery,
he got
the
17
guy
years.
filming got, no, he didn't. He got life.
Life. I thought he got
the
17.
guy holding the camera sitting in the truck got life.
Wow. Yeah, this is listen, there's only so many instances where this happens to our citizens before they say, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep. And to twist the knife a little bit more, going to the corrupt judges, there was an incident where a few, basketball Americans decided to break and enter into a home with a young child.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's just say the judge also likes his... he's a connoisseur of chicken and waffles and watermelon. That judge basically looked at that little girl and said, "You're a white supreme pizza because you're afraid of black men now."
That's nuts.
Yeah,
and the perpetrators got let out on probation and all this other stuff. So when shit hits the fan, I expect a little skirmishes here and there, but there's going to be some people planning some stuff.
Hang on.
Don't condone it, but
when the Civil War first kicked off, the first one, for the first year or so, there was a lot of small actions, and it was mostly people settling scores.
Yes,
and it also happened during the Revolutionary War too.
That is correct.
Listen, we're evil hairless monkeys.
Yeah.
I'm literally using historical examples here.
World War I and World War II experienced the same thing. There were incidents of skirmishes all the way up till 1946 after World War II.
Yeah.
Where people were just like, hey, let's go get a little payback.
Yep. And when I was in Iraq, I had to go and,
Oh, that's a payback culture, though.
Yeah, but
Those
I
guys are
literally
real.
would be in a battalion meeting, like, hey, we found 2 guys in the street. They were like decapitated, burned. Their joints are all drilled out. Could you go out there and find out what's going on? I'm like, absolutely not.
No,
No,
no.
because guess what?
Yeah.
If they kick your door down and drag you out in the middle of the night and do that kind of shit to you, especially right after Saddam Hussein fell, you probably did something to piss some people off to make that possible.
Yep.
And I'm not risking my life or any of my men's lives to go deal with this shit. It's not my problem.
Yep. There's a saying that we use here in the Midwest: "Not my pig, not my farm."
Can we rabbit hole for a second? I have a really good story about that.
Go ahead.
One of my buddies was attached to Second Ranger in Iraq, an analyst. We call him BC. And they had a guy who was selling information to the Americans and selling information to this faction over here, and then selling it to this faction on the other side of the base. He's basically paying everybody.
Yes.
And getting paid by all of that. Finally, it got to the point where he was just obviously a greedy little pig. So the Americans took him in a car and, okay, we're going to go for a meetup here. We need you to get this information from us. And they drove him out to one of the factions that he had been diming out the whole time.
Oh, bad news.
With a sign bag over his head, and then said, okay, and got him out of the car and then just drove away.
Yep.
And then they walked over, pulled the sandbag off of his head, and he's like, oh, I am too heavy, Betty.
Yeah, listen.
But that happened all the time over there.
Yeah, what happened when I was there?
Yeah.
This is bad. This is bad, right?
They literally pulled over a bus that had all of the workers who worked at the laundry facility,
yeah,
and executed them all on the side of the road. All of them.
Wow.
Our laundry was shut down for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow.
And I remember I'm like, well, I got like 2 shirts in there. What's going on? Like, all of them got killed. I'm like, whoa.
The laundry people.
Yeah.
Who kills the laundry guy?
No, they were women, laundry women.
Who
Like,
kills the
I know,
who
it's even
kills
worse.
the laundry lady?
There's like 36 of them who were like executed on the side of the road.
That's insane.
And then they were kidnapping.
Absolutely insane.
They were kidnapping individuals who simply came to Abu Ghraib to visit people who were in custody, and they were executed after they were kidnapped out of the very parking lot we were responsible for. Yeah, and I had to get involved in that one.
Yeah, it's hard to control somebody else's backyard.
No,
it is very hard to control somebody else's backyard.
It's not.
I mean, us being in Iraq.
Well, here's the thing: if you really want to control an area, you got to get absolute medieval and just wipe out everyone.
Yeah,
and I hate to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the truth.
If you have to go Vlad the Impaler and put up some, well, let's just say, fancy lawn ornaments.
Yeah.
Put up some fancy lawn ornaments. Jimmy, I like you.
But, like, again, this is all historical examples. This has already happened before. This is just a different form. It's a little bit different, but the pattern is the same.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah. We lost our image there for a second.
There we go.
So let's get back to what's going on in New York. This is important, and this is a scary factor here. These guys will understand this, especially the sophisticated ones, and there are sophisticated operators coming across the damn border.
There has to be.
Period. Edward Caban, who is the New York City Police Commissioner, said they are part of a migrant crime wave plaguing the city, and he likened them to ghosts. Here's the scary part. They're undocumented. They have no phones. They have no social media, and sometimes they have no names or date of birth. Another thing is they're not in any of our fingerprint systems.
Yeah, why would they be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these people are ghosts, which makes them extremely, extremely dangerous in the wrong environment.
Well, I know for a fact that my DNA and fingerprints are in the criminal database.
Oh, well, God, I'm in like 4 databases.
Yeah.
They fingerprinted the shit out of us when we got our clearance. I know you were fingerprinted at Machuca.
Yeah.
Because anybody who goes through there, just to get into the skiffs, you got to come out and do a little thing. So the 30-year-old alleged ringleader of this remained at large as police and marshals were trying to track him down. Good luck with that. So while that's all happening here in New York and Chicago and Puget Sound, we've got an actual serious militarized cartel that, oh, wait, they're actually Mexican special forces. Meanwhile, Americans kidnapping in Mexico reignites debate over ending drug cartels' control. It's a never-ending war. So this is Matamoros, Mexico, down by the west side of Mexico.
Listen, Mexico at the U.S. border, and maybe about 70 or 80 miles south of the American border, is a fucking shit show now.
Yeah.
It is terrible. I know several individuals who have moved down to Mexico and are retired there. They live out in some small areas. But with what's going on in the world, what the fuck are these guys thinking? Because there's no protection for them down there.
More protection than there is here. They can probably shoot back down there.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where we can't shoot back down. So
Yep.
Kidnap the Gringo has been a big gang thing in Mexico and the South American states for quite
Forever.
some time now.
Forever.
For quite some time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But it really picked up about 20 years ago.
well, during the drug war.
During the drug war, sure.
Because when I went down there, they briefed me on that. You cannot roll out of the gate without a minimum of 4 people,
Minimum of 4 guys.
preferably 8.
Yes, I know.
can
We had
never-
that conversation
Yeah.
when I was down in La Paz.
Yeah. You cannot go to the bathroom by yourself.
Nope.
If you go to a discotheque, you have to travel. I mean,
Do not leave the compound. We were at a compound.
yeah. And in fact, my PTSD goes off. Like when I go to a public restroom, I have to go. I wait for a stall that has a locking door.
I did that today.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't piss in the urinal
exactly
because
that today.
I saw the pictures of one of the our operators who got stabbed in both of his fucking kidneys while taking a piss, and he didn't even make it to the emergency room. He bled out before he even got there.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I today went into a bathroom and checked the whole thing before using it at all.
All right, I got to put out an announcement here. All right, gentlemen.
Good.
There are 1,002 people on YouTube watching this, but I only have 344 likes. Get those likes up, God damn it.
Uh-oh.
Every time you click a like, a feminist hits the wall at 0 x per hour.
Correct.
And every time you click that like button, my trigger finger gets a little less itchy. I'm just saying. I don't want to do it, but
Playing
I'll do it
Call
if I
of
have
Duty
to.
doesn't count, Jim.
Now, hey, listen.
I love you, man.
All right. First of all, I'm at a point in my life right now where all I can do to fight back is talk about it and make jokes. And just like Steve, you know, he's what, 2 or 3 years behind me.
Fat and old, dude.
Fat,
I
old,
ain't
and
going
slow.
anywhere.
Yeah, I ain't going anywhere. All right. I'm just covering. Listen, and we're grunts, so we're very brutal, blunt, and upfront, and that's how we were trained, conditioned in the military, and that's the way we present the information to you.
I'm grunt adjacent,
Yes.
actually. I had to learn to speak grunt as a separate language after language school.
It's totally true.
It is.
We had an analyst attached to us, and we're talking. He's like, "What do you?" He didn't know our acronyms. He didn't know our lingo.
It took me about 2 months to catch on.
Yeah, and before you know it, they're talking like everyone else.
Yeah. There's one of the things they never portray in the movies is there are 2 sides to the intelligence world. There's the intelligence geeks in the basement that everybody knows about, you see in all the damn movies.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Bourne, the guys with the computers, track him. Okay, first of all, that doesn't really exist. That's not a thing. But then there's the they do work in bunkers and they do have computers, but it's never that frenetic and weird.
No.
Mostly it's a lot of coffee drinking and looking at screens.
It's pretty, and you got to hear the background noise of
In
people
the
typing.
background. Yeah. And occasionally you hear some radio stuff if there's something going on.
Yeah.
But the other side is there's a tactical intelligence where we will attach to the grunts or the Green Berets or the Rangers or the Marines. And basically we become radio broadcast stations or radio intercept stations for them. And we have to be able to keep up so everybody's in really good shape. And you run alongside them, and they get to do all the fun blowy uppy stuff where you sit there with antennas and figure stuff out.
Here's another thing. I need to put this out. Gentlemen, this channel is virtually completely demonetized, minus a few videos here and there. Please send us some super chats so we can pay our goddamn bills.
Yeah.
Because we used to make $5,000 to $7,000 from YouTube every month. Now we barely get $1,200.
We're not there. We're not there right now.
Yeah.
I was in this morning putting up some more
Yeah.
videos. I'll put out 12 videos a week for this channel for Pop. And I look at the stats and everything. And every time I put a video, demonetized.
Yeah.
Your video's not nice. We're demonetizing you.
Yeah. it is what it is. But I'm just letting you guys know we're trying to hold on to the end of the rope.
Yeah.
But funds are getting tight and we need assistance. There
Yes,
it is.
please. So here we go. This is actually from ICE. This is an overview of their gang situations. Transnational criminal gangs pose an immediate, clear, and present danger to the... There's that phrase, clear and present danger. That is a real-world phrase.
Yes, it is.
To the security of the homeland and its communities. Gangs are involved in a myriad of criminal activity, including murder, extortion, etc. You know all of this already. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has committed significant resources to this fight, but they don't have enough. In doing so, ICE's Homeland Security Investigations and Enforcement Removal Operations combined their unique authorities to target criminal activity and administrative immigration violations of known or suspected gang members. None of this goes anywhere, okay? ICE is talking a really good game here.
Yes,
Homeland
they're not doing
Security is
nothing.
talking a really good game here. In the end, because of the prosecutors, all the way up to the DOJ, most of these violent gang members never get deported. They deport a couple for show.
Yes.
And then they'll put his face on, we got one.
But-
We deported him. And there's
But
literally 34 million behind him.
here's the thing. Once this goes into a war footing, when enough people have had enough and start taking action, they will organize, and then it will be game on.
Or they'll just start taking territories in the U.S. where they think they can take them.
Yeah.
They'll find a small town with a small population that's older that can't defend themselves, and they'll take the town. They've done it all. They did it in Colombia. They did it in Bolivia.
That was
One of the biggest problems we had is rolling into a damn town, and the entire thing was Bolivian cartel.
well, what the thing is, like the drug cartel down in South America, a lot of them would move into an area and go, "You're all working for me now." And if you said no, they killed you.
Exactly that. And at the time when I was down in Bolivia, the president of Bolivia was a former coke dealer.
Great.
That helps.
Well,
Not really.
this is what I noticed when I played around down there. Now, I was never there for long periods of time, very short.
We were there for about 10 days.
Yeah. But the thing is they had a list of all of the people who were either knew they were growing cocaine or suspected.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were like a turbo asshole and you decided to like kill people, enslave people, you went to the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
That list was so long, we couldn't even get to them all.
No, there's no way.
It was like the top 20, 25 on the list. They got like 95% of the effort.
Right. Yeah. We were down there because the North Koreans were dabbling in that realm in order to launder money. So we were tracking that element of things, but we saw a lot of it because there were a lot of you type of guys down there at that time operating in the same AO.
Yeah.
Basically, we were just collecting data and going, have you seen any guys that didn't look Bolivian? What do you mean by that? Oh, they smell like kimchi, a little bit.
Yeah. Gotcha.
ERO identifies gang members by checking an alien's background in federal law enforcement databases. What's wrong with that statement? What did we just read?
Yeah.
They're not in any databases.
No.
Interviews with the aliens and information received from law enforcement partners. Again, what information? This information is flagged according to ICE's enforcement systems. ERO officers removed 5,872 known or suspected gang members.
Hang on. I got to read this super chat real quick.
Do it.
This is from Billy Buffalo.
Yeah.
He's from Herkimer, New York.
Oh,
I hung out in Herkimer all the time. In fact, I had a bar fight down there in town.
yes. Ugh.
It was
You
more
got
like
into
a
a bar
bar.
fight in
It was a
Dublin?
bar push with being thrown out the front door, and then I got a summons 2 days later from the police to get yelled at officially, where I had to admit to disturbing the peace.
Whatever just happened to a bar fight? Whatever happened to a
No,
old-fashioned
no.
bar fight?
Like I was literally 2 days later, I'm at the gas station filling up my cop car. The city Herkimer, was it Herkimer or was the sheriff? I don't remember. They're like, "Hey man, we got some reports you're involved in a bar fight the other day." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Because look, we're just going to give you an appearance ticket. You just got to go down there and clean this up. And I remember I'm going there like, we're going to find you for disturbing the peace, but all of this will go away if you don't get in trouble for 6 months. I'm like, oh, okay. No. I had to stand there and go, Your Honor, there was peace and I disturbed it. And you could hear like everyone laughing. I paid a fine and I left.
That's fantastic. Whatever happened to a bar? We used to get bar fights all the time. It was
I
like
know.
the sport in Detroit.
Look, in New York State, you cannot do any of it. Their whole legal system is fucked 3 ways to Sunday.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, let's get on. We're off.
We're
the
on
weeds
it.
here.
We
Sorry.
got we got it. So this again is from the actual ICE website. They talk about MS-13. Most people know who they are. They're incredibly dangerous. They're all over the Midwest right now and along the East Coast. I think a lot of them have gotten up into North Carolina and that region, but they're really dangerous. These are the ones that'll hack you up and stuff your body into a barrel.
They'll all do that.
These guys enjoy it though. This is like their thing.
Yeah,
that's their thing.
And they're in California. They're all over the place.
California, you've got Sureños and Norteños. You've got a lot of the Baja gangs, and the MS-13s haven't really been able to dig in there, even though that's where they got their start.
Oh, so they
haven't been able to come back. MS-13 started in a barrio in LA.
Yeah, and then
and moved back down to El Salvador.
Yeah,
and then they tried to come back, and now they're in the Midwest because they couldn't dig into California because the cartels, the Mexican cartels, have gotten into California. And now the MS-13 gangs don't have the influence they once had there.
Yeah.
It's all very weird. There's a lot to it, a lot of moving parts. Basically, what's happening is all of these illegals that are moving in are bringing gangs with them, the likes of which Americans do not know how to deal with, which is the entire point of our show tonight.
Correct.
You need to know this stuff is happening. You need to be aware of it because these are really, really seriously dangerous individuals. And if you see them, don't fuck around because you will find out.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared to deal with that level of violence.
Yeah. Thus the title Anarchy.
In the USA.
Yes.
So beginning in early 2015, that's 10 years ago, law enforcement began seeing many MS-13 members residing in Mendota, California area. The city of Mendota is a small community approximately 4 to 5 minutes west of Fresno. So ICE was targeting them as well, which probably explained the thinning of the herd there. They were big in LA, but they're not anymore, like I said. Through the course of the operation, the investigative teams in Fresno obtained information specific to acts of violence that were being committed by MS-13 operating throughout the United States, including locations in Houston, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Oakland, Baltimore, and New York City. The information that was passed by HSI Fresno and the investigative team was credited with in preventing 11 acts of violence. 11 acts of
11, a whole 11. Oh my God.
This is what I'm talking about. They give you, our government and our law enforcement give you these dog and pony shows. It doesn't even begin to touch the problem.
No, and the only way that you're going to actually be able to touch this problem effectively is that you're literally going to have to wake up a majority of the people and move them into a war footing.
Yes.
And then make a concerted effort to crush these guys out.
Yes. Based on this, at least 15 felony arrests were made during this phase of the investigation, as well as information leading to the arrest and or clearance of 18 homicides.
Ooh.
Whole 18.
It's not even 2 dozen.
Okay, and that was in 2015.
Okay.
So that entire operation netted them 3,886 transnational gang criminal arrests, including 452 MS-13 specific arrests. What this tells you is they're barely scraping the top of the icing on the cake. These gangs are huge and they're multinational and they go back and forth over the border with impunity.
And they're organized. Yeah. They have their own intel elements. They have teams that bribe and, get influence for more information. They're extorting, blackmailing people in the law enforcement industry. I mean, let's face it, they're humans too. Shit happens.
Yeah. Yep.
There was a scene in the. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on.
Oh, I was just going to make a quick joke here, but from what I'm hearing, ICE and all these other federal agents, they're just kissing the tip of the dick.
That's
because
correct.
if they try to go any further, that dick is going to be forced upon us, and tonsils will be buttered.
Here's the thing with the alphabet agencies. They have been diversity hiring for decades.
Yes.
And a majority of them, they're just not equipped mentally or physically or spiritually to deal with that kind of evil.
That is correct.
They're just not.
That is correct. The reference to them having intelligence and stuff, there's a scene in the Tom Clancy movie Clear and Present Danger where the cartels are employing a DGE agent. DGE is the Cuban intelligence.
Yep.
And they were pretty good. They were pretty good. I don't know how they are now. I've been out of the game for 20 years. My day, they were pretty good, and they went to the cartels like crazy. We know they were down in Bolivia. I don't know if you ever encountered any of them there,
No.
but we encountered Cubans several times.
Like my experience down there is very limited, so I don't
Were you
have.
mostly ground guys?
Yeah, I carried a radio, got yelled at a lot.
Yeah.
You know, did what I was told, moved where I was wearing, ran for my life a few times.
Went to places, did things?
Yes.
Yeah. We
Stuff.
had one ugly helicopter extraction.
Ooh, that's
with
good.
the one wheel, and you're like running up
Yeah.
and you drop a bunch of gear and you get on the bird and you're like, fuck, I lost a camera. And yeah. we had one ugly extract. But we knew that there were Cuban DGE down there. If there's Cuban DGE down there, guess what's coming across our border? Same damn thing.
Same
They're
damn
coming
shit.
across with the Jaliscos, the ones that we talked about that were in Puget Sound. I guarantee you they've got real, actual intelligence officers with them.
Mhm.
If I had cartel kind of money, the first thing I'd do is buy 2 or 3 of those guys.
And they do.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean,
you
that
use
was
them for
another thing.
defensive purposes. You're using to be able to move your stuff around without being picked off.
I mean, that was another thing that was briefed to us, that there's American mercenaries getting paid by the drug cartels, and
We know that's true.
and those are trigger pullers. But who says, like, hey, how about we hire other people other than, like, let's hire some grunt adjacents who have different skill sets.
There were rumors of a Green Beret operating in our AO.
Yeah, Delta got him.
Oh, they did get him?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. As far as that's what I was told.
Bolivia?
I don't know the details.
Okay.
I've heard the stories about that.
There was a guy down there who was very effective, and he was an American Green Beret.
Yeah, and they whacked him.
Good. So what's coming across our border, now that we've been talking about the South Americans a little bit, is Venezuela's worst gangsters have crossed into the U.S. illegally and are unleashing chaos in Dallas, Chicago, and Miami, with fearful residents saying they have had tires slashed, windows shot out, retribution for reporting them to the cops. Like we've said over and over, these gangs are not what you're used to.
Nope.
This is not Boys in the Hood. This is not the Crips and the Blood having a 30-second shootout in cars in Compton.
No.
These are highly organized, highly dangerous gangs, and they will retaliate. They will go to the point where if you report them to the police and they find out that it's you, they'll kill your family. They'll leave you alive. They'll kill your family.
That's unfortunate, but that does happen.
Yeah. That's the level of
evil
what's coming into our country with these illegal gangs. And every time we sit still as our politicians allow this stuff, on one side, the Democrats doing it deliberately. On the other side, the Republicans wringing their hands. Oh, whatever can we do? As we sit there and do nothing, they're doing this to our country. And it could be somebody you know next, or it could be your family.
Yeah.
Henchmen for Venezuela's dictator and many of South America's country's worst criminals have crossed over the U.S. border and are now causing chaos in major American cities. I know they're looting homes here in Detroit. Organized Venezuelan gangs attacked Grosse Pointe. When Pop and I were kids, if you robbed a house in Grosse Pointe,
you're fucked.
The police were not coming for you. You were going to get a visit. Tony and Sal were going to come by and you were going to get a nice visit.
The Goombas would pay you a visit.
You did not rob a house in Grosse Pointe. No. And now the gangs are doing it with impunity.
Just to give you guys a heads up, we are going to have a lot of "we're not worthies" because
I know
people are being very generous. So.
Oh, bless you guys!
Thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Just trying
residents,
to help people,
overwhelmingly migrants who made the harrowing trek through several countries to reach America are seeking asylum, pointed to the videos of fights between armed men, broken windows, and reckless drivers speeding through parking lots. One disturbing clip shows a man with a shirt over his head being wailed on by several men. And you see this over and over and over again. This is in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
This video that you can see on the screen here now. That's a pretty significant beating.
No, we
that
can't.
deliver-
We're not supposed to
they'll-
show this on YouTube, so let's move.
Why can't we?
Because they'll give us a violent strike.
Yeah, they'll give
Oh.
us the proverbial PP slap.
Okay. Anyway, car window broken in, Texas plate. You're getting the idea. You can see the level of damage that's going on
Mhm.
here.
This is actual like footage too. This isn't like staged.
Now, on top of all of the violence, this is the one where I would actually go kinetic if something like this turned up in my AO. I'm sorry, this is my one button. No women, no kids.
Correct.
You do not push that button.
No women, no kids. You go near women and kids, I will fucking smoke you. we had an incident in the South Pacific. There's nothing we could do because we were just a LPOP.
Yeah.
And it was Abu Sayyaf operating in the Philippines. They went into a village and they were talking to the village leader or elder or whatever the
They
heck it
always
was,
do that, and they kill his family.
and they killed the kid right in front of him.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there up in the tree line.
watching the whole thing.
There's four of us. There's literally, we couldn't call in a strike, nothing, because then you'd know they were in the area. We just had to watch them pop the kid. And I'm sitting there just like, it took me days to get over that. It still plays over in my head.
Yeah. Listen, there's only so much evil you can see before the buffer. gets filled.
That's probably my worst.
Yeah.
ICE arrests over 100 illegal immigrants with child sex charges in 25 U.S. cities. If this is happening in 25 U.S. cities,
It's happening everywhere.
it's happening everywhere, and it's heavy, heavy trafficking. Again, these people don't have the same morals as us.
Nope.
They don't have them. Children are just a thing for them. You go to Afghanistan, and sex with children is preferred to sex with women.
Same thing in Iraq.
I can't. My brain won't even wrap around that.
And listen, and people get upset when you say that, but that's the culture there.
Yeah.
That's really happening on the ground. I lived there for 10 months ish. I saw it all the time. I read the reports. I went to the intel briefings. I saw the videos, the footage. I saw it firsthand.
When the first team started coming back from Afghanistan in 2002, we had guys come back crying.
Yeah.
We go pick them up from the airfield and they get in the freaking vehicles and they would just fall apart.
Yep.
And they've been holding together that whole time. They get in their vehicle. They're like, the shit I saw, dude.
Mhm.
But come on, let's go. You need a drink.
We're going right to the bar.
We're
getting two
we're
doubles
supposed to go to the psychologist and debrief. We will. We're stopping at the pre-psychologist first.
Yeah, that's not the usual 1, 2, 3 fingers. No, that's when you just hand them the whole fucking bottle. Just
Yeah. You got to watch them. Really, when you get guys, when you come back from that kind of shit.
Yep.
You got to watch your guys, and you got to make sure that they don't drink too much.
Yeah. But going back to the border thing and
happens.
whatnot. I'm sure the guys in the chats and everyone else with above room temperature IQ, the story of a 9-year-old girl, 11-year-old girl that came in through the southern border had, I don't know how many, I can't remember what the number was.
God, this one.
DNA samples.
Yes.
Multiple.
Mhm.
I think it was like dozens. And then that's when my brain snapped. And then that's when I was like, okay, Democrats, you want to ban guns because if it just saves one child, that little girl now has to live with that horror that she lived with.
What? All right, hang on. The Democrats are tanking this country because they want to stay in power.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. They know they haven't really passed any kind of policy or anything of any use for probably 30 goddamn years. They promise the world, they deliver nothing.
And they take everything.
They take everything. Well, and the Republicans are right behind them now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a Mutt and Jeff routine.
Yeah.
They're just playing one side off the other.
Let's keep going. We got to get through this.
ICE announced the arrest of over 100 illegal immigrants wanted for serious crimes, including child sexual assault and murder in a nationwide enforcement action. Again, if this is nationwide, it's a trafficking ring. The operation led to the arrest of 171 individuals in 20 U.S. cities over 11 days. I know some of that happened here in Michigan.
First of all, it's not a trafficking ring. It's a trafficking army.
That's fair.
Okay.
The arrests included individuals wanted for wanted for or convicted of child molestation, child pornography, rape, and murder, empty gravel pit cliff box of 22 shells.
Ooh.
Over the course, I'd just line them up, push them over the edge, let the crows have them.
We can't be talking about direct violence. We can only say, yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Listen, I don't condone it.
Phrasing.
I understand it.
Phrasing. Crows.
But and listen, most of the time, historical examples. I mean, when stuff goes off the rails like this, it's going to lead to organized violence if nothing is done about it at some point.
Let's just say, whenever I look at this, the first thing through my head is caw.
Yep. You know what else we could do, Steve, is we could open up a tree trimming service.
Yeah,
and only hire people on a
That's
certain list.
Yeah, I understand where you're going with this. Over the course of 11 days, our dedicated and committed law enforcement officers zeroed in on removable at large non-citizens who are wanted for or who have already been convicted of removable at large non-citizens. You tap dancing, insert long list of swear words right here. Removable at large non-citizens.
Lord's name in vain. Swear word redacted. What the hell?
Long string of creative epithets right here. You mealy mouth. Insert other words here.
Redacted.
Violence, things that I'm thinking.
I gotcha.
The results of this week-long effort are a testament to ERO's commitment to protecting the homeland through the arrest and removal of those who undermine the safety of U.S. communities and the integrity of U.S. immigration laws. Enforcement and removal operations personnel are committed to blah, blah, blah. Kiss my
Listen, if they were committed, there would be much bigger numbers on the board.
Well, it's not like the FBI pulled agents off of child schmexual investigations to go after peaceful protesters.
No, they didn't pull anybody off of ping pong tournaments to go after did they? This organization arrested 73,822 non-citizens with criminal histories. So how many more are in the country? This is a huge. Now we've got the violent gangs. Then we've got the violent drug cartels that are Mexican special forces backed, selling meth in Washington.
Correct.
The Venezuelan urban shopping gangs.
I'm going to be doing another zombie apocalypse whiteboard edition. And quite literally, the process and the network is already in place because it was used by Antifa and BLM. Yeah. And now they're going to move actual people with actual real-world violence experience into those positions. And it won't be people lighting off fireworks or smoke bombs. It'll get really bad. I hope it doesn't. But my ESP is telling me this is happening for a reason. It is organized, and it's not for the benefit of this country at all.
No.
It's already here. Mm-hmm. This guy, this charmer, is Hector Guerrero, and he is a member of a Mexican gang called Tren de Aragua. I don't know what that means in Spanish. I don't recognize the words. I'm sure I could figure it out if I wanted to. Venezuelan criminal gang for the past few years has been extending its operations and causing havoc throughout Latin America. Has made an appearance in South Florida, claiming that at least one of the members was involved in a recent Miami murder. The violent gangs we were talking about are now active, and this is the first instance of a murder being publicized by one of these gangs in a major American city that I am aware of. There are probably more. But this one stuck out because this is Miami.
Yeah.
This is the tourist mecca. There have always been gangs there. You go into the barrio in Miami. There's Cayocho. There's the little Haiti that you need to stay out of. There's a place called Gould's, which is pretty ugly. Mm-hmm. And these are the barrios that are in Miami. But the violence and the gangs stayed in there. Miami Beach and Coconut Grove.
Don't they have a little
Havana? That's Cayocho.
Yeah. I used to go there and get their food. It was great.
So wonderful.
Oh my
Me
God.
too. I've been there.
I had to stop doing it because I was starting to get fat.
Yeah. Yeah, Cuban coffee is also good.
Oh my God.
There was Cape Canaveral, the North Florida space launch, and then there was Calle Ocho, the Cuban coffee, South Florida space launch.
What?
The strength of the Cuban coffee was called the South Florida space launch.
There you go. But I mean, we're not trying to scare you. We're trying to warn you. This is actually happening in this country. And because our mainstream media is under the thumb or controlled by somebody else, we are not hearing about this.
Yes.
They want to keep the information away from as many people as they can until it becomes almost too late to reverse.
Yeah, it's true. Look, there is something we can do about this stuff that is legal. One, these reporters for these news stations, you got your channel 2, 4, 7, whatever is in your area. Those reporters, ask them why they're not reporting on this stuff.
Yes.
Confront them, call them. If you run into them in the street, be civil.
Mm-hmm.
Be civil. But ask them, why won't you report on this? Keep a list with you. Why won't you report on these murders that happened here in our city? Why won't you report on this child trafficking that's happening here in our city? Why haven't you reported these things? The more pressure, the more of us put on the media, that will move that needle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest of you, well, the same people, you need to get involved in county politics. I am now heavily involved in my county politics, like heavily. I'm there constantly. And they even know my name. You can watch a couple of videos from the Lapeer County Commission meetings where I'll go speak, and one of the commissioners is like, "Hey, Steve," just he's back, because they know I'm there.
Yeah, you're gonna.
But it shows them that you are there paying attention, and you can move the needle in your county, because a lot of times these county commissioners, they're people that you know. One of the county commissioners owns a restaurant that my wife and I frequent. Another one owns a farm that I frequent. You know, these people, we know them. You just don't realize that you know them most of the time.
Yeah.
Go talk to them. Say, this is a threat. Hey, look at these crimes here. This is what's happened in our state. Compile a list of these violent gangs, these child traffickings that are happening in your state, and say, hey, I'd like to present this sheet. Keep it to a page or two at the most, to the sheriff.
Here's the thing. All right.
I'm trying to be proactive here. We need to start being active.
You cannot give huge intel dumps to law enforcement.
It's a waste of time. They won't even look at it.
They won't look at it.
Nope.
No. And
page and a half at the most.
It's going to take some pretty egregious shit to happen before they open their eyes and start listening to the people they're supposed to serve and protect.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Be civil, but be aggressive, be proactive. You can do this. And if in a county like mine with 70,000, 100 people show up at a meeting, guess what? The county commission pays attention.
Yeah.
Or the sheriff pays attention. You get 200 people showing up to the sheriff, all handing them the same sheet of paper saying, we need to act on this. This is a threat to our county. These are real Venezuelan gangs. This is the Jalisco cartel with Mexican special forces.
Yeah. And here's another thing is that needs to take place is a lot of these county sheriffs are probably going to have to separate themselves from the alphabet agencies' intel dumps, because I have no confidence that the proper information is coming down the pipe to the county sheriff.
I'm 100% certain that it is not.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like our government. We don't even have a federal government. Let's just be honest.
It's a puppet.
They're literally doing nothing but wasting our money and allowing a silent invasion to take place.
And endangering our citizens.
Correct. Guess what? I mean, these drug cartels or gangs or whatever is taking place, that's another method for instilling fear so you can control people.
Yeah, this is the level of what's going on. And then you get down back to the border again. Feuding drug cartels block roads near U.S. border as gunmen force children off of school bus. These cartels, as they traffic their drugs, will interfere in your daily life.
Yep.
Especially if you live in or near one of these states that they're trafficking through. They force children off of a school bus across from Brownsville, Texas. At one point, gunmen forced middle school students off a bus and used the vehicle as a blockade. Roads were cleared, and officials claimed that one death reported early Tuesday was not related to the blockades. How do I get rid of this?
There the X.
Go. At about a dozen points in and around the city, gunmen carjacked vehicles and left them parked across roadways. The military deployed about 700 troops and 2 helicopters to quell the violence. Now, this is on the Matamoros. This is on the Mexican side of things, but it spilled over into Texas. This is the Gulf Cartel, and it's one of the larger ones there. I don't know if the Zapatos are functioning anymore. Didn't they get pretty wiped out?
I know that a lot of the people at the top were nixed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, usually when that happens, the people
Gulf
kind of
Cartel
melt
stepped
away
into the
and
gap.
move over to other cartels.
Gulf Cartel stepped into the... Those are fascinating stories, by the way. There are some mini documentary drama style on a couple of the cartel things. There's one called Reina del Sud, Queen of the South, that's actually really good. There's one on Escobar that's actually really good.
I had a couple of NCOs I knew that were with a certain unit that used to do direct action stuff. And they were there as advisors when Pablo Escobar got his one-way ticket to...
I know one of the medics.
Yeah, to the other side.
I know one of the medics, a guy named Tim.
Yeah, I heard the stories.
Yeah, we heard the same stories from Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, there's a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah,
a lot of shit going on. We're like, oh, I'm sure.
Interesting.
Yes, sirree.
That's a weird crowd, that particular bunch. On Monday in the same area, police said they arrested a top lieutenant of the violent Metros faction of the Gulf Cartel, implicated in 23 attacks on police and 9 against military personnel. So these cartels are not afraid to attack the Mexican police or the Mexican military. Now you've got the Jaliscos, and they're in Washington State. Do you think they're going to be afraid to attack American police?
No.
American police are the least aggressive police I have ever seen in my life. You screw with the Carabinieri in Italy?
Yeah, you're screwed.
They're
Or
gonna,
the Polizei in Germany.
Yeah.
I've watched them.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a discotheque in Germany. Fight breaks out. They push everyone into the street. These guys are still fighting.
Yep.
The Polizei walk up. There's no questions asked. They just took out their batons and just beat
Went
the
to town.
shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
And had to carry them, their unconscious bodies, throw them in the wagon to take them to God knows where.
Yeah.
And then
Carabinieri in Italy are the same way.
yeah, I understand. You don't fuck with the Polizei, man.
Our police are basically wishy-washy in comparison to some of that stuff there.
Yeah.
So these cartels, the Jaliscos that are comprised of the Mexican special operators, they're not going to care.
So
Our cops.
perfect example of the a few. The police down in Texas. We all know the Uvalde situation and what happened there. What you probably didn't hear, those in the chat, there was another quote mass incident at a megachurch in Dallas.
Yeah.
Down at Houston.
Oh, is this the most recent one?
Yes.
This one was just the other day. It was an Central American quote woman question mark, because they don't know. It's a biological woman that identified as a man.
Negative. That is inverted, sir. I made that same mistake earlier today myself.
Okay, so it was
So I
okay.
pulled the police record.
Negative,
okay.
Ghost Rider.
Negative. Writer.
Negative. Okay,
Ghost
so
Rider, the tranny is broken.
yeah. So stop that, repeat it, and then we're back on. That person went to one of the mega churches there, and with an AR-15, shocker, with Free Palestine on the weapon, and used a child, 8-year-old, 7-8-year-old,
7-year-old as a shield.
7-year-old as a human shield. The only person that was involved, the troon is smoked. She's in a she. I don't know. It's confusing. They're in a body bag.
The perp. Let's call it the perp. The perp was dealt with by 2 off-duty police officers who were at the church and happened to be armed at the time.
Good.
Yeah. So
Well,
and then the police chief, to make my point, came on and said, "Oh well, we had an extensive investigation on which pronouns that person used, and it was in fact."
Why the fuck do we even give a shit about that?
That thing's arrest record went all the way back to 2016.
Yeah.
We never deported it. And it somehow had a rifle in its possession.
Yeah, it was an illegal person that also somehow allegedly voted in the 2020 election.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yeah, we tracked down the election record as well.
All right, let's we got a couple more to go through, and then we're going to hit super chats.
We're going to go to super chat after this one, I think.
There we
because
go.
apparently Jimmy said we're getting quite a few.
Yeah, we got a backlog.
IEDs found at U.S.-Mexico border in cartel gunfight. Now, this is the final escalation of everything we've been talking about. You've got the militarized cartels, you got the hyper-violent gangs, you've got the child trafficking, you've got the battles in our towns that are going on, you've got the questionable individuals doing things and getting themselves shot for it. 10 IEDs found at U.S.-Mexico border in cartel gunfight. Pop, tell us a little about the use of IEDs, please.
Okay. Well, I was wounded in Iraq by an IED. They were very common when I was there. And you make them big enough, there's really nothing you can't destroy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, they took out Edwin Abrams tanks. Yeah. I mean, I saw one that was flipped on its side.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen one fall into a ditch and do that, but I've never seen one.
It was blown off the road
into
into the ditch and was on its side. So
I've never seen one blown into the. Yeah. That's impressive.
And listen, here's another thing: is we have this huge war going on in Ukraine with billions of dollars and weapons and being sent everywhere, plus all of the weapons we left in Afghanistan. How long do you think it's going to take for those high-level military-grade weapons to filter down and be used against us at either the northern or southern borders?
They're already here.
I know.
I would bet you a significant chunk of change that those weapons are already here.
A portion of them are, of course.
The thing, again...
Listen, I need to get a new profession as an arms dealer.
We could become the Lords of War.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like the Russian, he's retired. Yeah. There's openings. There's openings. A federal law enforcement source shared with Fox Business News an internal officer safety alert dated December 13th that Border Patrol agents should be vigilant after the Mexican military seized 10 improvised explosive devices near the border. The IEDs were found by Mexican authorities after Tucson Border Patrol observed gunshots at the U.S.-Mexico border, and a Tucson Supervisory Board Border Patrol arrested an armed person on the U.S. side who had a loaded AK, bags.
Hang on. I'm going to make some phone calls and see if I can find out what these were constructed of, because it will tell you a lot of what's going on.
You're right.
If it's dynamite or ammonium nitrate based, that's locally made for the most part.
Right.
But if you're picking up weapons grade or army grade explosive materials, that's a real bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, military grade explosives are called that for a reason.
Right. They're highly stable for transport and very effective when employed.
Absolutely correct.
The bad thing here is that we're dealing with people who won't hesitate to use an explosive device in an American town, city, airport,
correct,
sports venue, what have you.
Yeah.
These people, and I've said it over and over, don't care. They don't have the same concept of a conscience that we do. They do not have it.
No.
It's not there. We have reached the moment
where we have to,
I think
we have to go to super chats because it's going to take us 45 minutes.
It may very well.
Listen, I'm grateful because we have been demonetized for the most part.
We've been getting our asses kicked.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work on this stuff too, you guys. You have no idea. Pop and I will exchange emails all week just to get to this point here, and we're still disorganized and grabastic.
The law dog, she cracks up when we talk on the phone because we're like, out.
Okay, out. Yeah, I know. She's like, what? That's not a phone conversation. Yes, it is.
It's like 30 seconds.
What is that? It's grunt speak. That's why we call it that. You said 3 words and then you said out. That's not a phone conversation. Yes, it is.
She's a good person.
She's good people.
Yeah.
We'll jump over to the super chats here. Yeah, we got quite a few we're not worthies here, so we're gonna
Oh.
be sure to. I'm gonna keep my eyes out, make sure the chat doesn't jump on me because it likes to do that every now and then. But we'll start it off here. Jackson, what are your music comes in with 2 in a row here. First one for $5. Is Gonzalo Lira dead?
Yes.
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 That
Do
is
people believe
confirmed.
he's dead, or was it confirmed, or was he actually killed?
No,
has
I
been-
confirmed.
I
Yep,
called
it has-
my sources, and
Yep.
he's dead. I just
Yep.
can't get information on how he died, or because of HIPAA. They're like, literally, our own government will not share any information that how he died because of HIPAA violations.
I'm aware. I deal with that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
He finishes it out with if he was RIP Coach Red Pill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I'm very upset about that.
Yep. And his second chat coming in. I was reading Reddit. Oh, God. Reddit is a cesspool.
Yeah.
And a Mexican said that the migrants that come to the U.S. are the lower class with no job prospects and too many kids. They aren't fleeing anything.
No, they're not. In fact, if you guys go to Reddit and do a search for Terrence Pop, you will find a bunch of my videos. And there's a lot of negative comments in there. They're kind of hilarious. I get a lot of material from there. I encourage you to go there and read them.
Yeah.
Negative comments from Reddit? No. Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Next, let's go.
Next, let's see. Count Chad the Impaler with $10. His girlfriend speaks Mandarin. December 24th, 2022. We were at a park near Conowingo hydroelectric dam, a manual restart power plant. 3 Chinese nationals speaking Mandarin flew 2 drones near the dam, reporting to
Nice.
DHS.
Great.
Yeah.
That's another zombie apocalypse episode right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Sean St. George coming out with $4.99. God damn it, gents. Do you want a Hillary video? Because that's how you get a Hillary video. Get the likes up. I was actually going to be nice and not play Hillary, but
Now we got it.
there might be
help us all.
there might be something special coming up.
All right.
Tell me you didn't make another Hillary video.
No, that one with the bouncing belly is about as bad as it gets.
Oh, just you wait.
Oh,
Just you wait.
oh.
Kenji 1090 $50. Our first not worthy of the night.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you very much.
He says, "Here's some money, you bastards. Love you guys."
Messages.
Then we got to follow it up with I roll, therefore I am, with a $50 Canadian, so about 35 cents. Just kidding, man.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
A.
It says, "From an evil hairless monkey to you, to your north."
All right.
Thank you, good sir. Todd Smith coming in with $5. I'm seeing a lot more, quote, shady people here in central PA, which is very rural. Most are not speaking English either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Next one, we got H12 with another $50.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
He sends a GIF of a pair doing a Godzilla impression.
A pair doing a Godzilla.
Yeah. We got a pair dancing around 4 buildings, so he's doing his best cut.
All right.
Yeah, doing his best.
We got a fellow Shaggy Sunshine here with $2. My poor attempt at demonetizing you. Cheers, guys. Good, sir.
Thank you.
Dark Knight $1.99. This is a long one. He's saying, "Get Trump on the show. You'll make bank." And
Yeah, there's no way we could get him on this show.
He's right, though.
Yeah, he's right.
That is true. That is a pipe dream that only Hunter Biden can think of.
If I had like maybe 500,000, views, maybe I could get on there. But
yeah. Speaking of views, we got 889 over here on YouTube and 650 likes. Bit more balanced out, but we could do better, gentlemen.
we did go over 1,000 for a little while on YouTube.
I did see that. We did see that. We lost. Yeah, that is what it is. Let's see. Billy Buffalo here with his comment. "Thanks for all you do. Now take my Herkimer New York red trash money." Nice.
Yeah.
take it.
Yankee Watchdog again with another We're Not Worthy $50 donation.
Wow. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
He gives you some advice. He says, Pop, try not to spend this on the 304s. Thanks.
That's not going to happen.
I think Pop's 304's days are pretty much over.
I'm a retired philanderer now, so it's all good.
Yeah. Well, unless you count the 304s that are hanging out on your bar there.
Oh, yeah.
Could be. Spend money on something that with a little to no return.
Alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
A little buzz.
Yeah.
There you go. HTRSP Super with $10. Please do a video on the Battle of Athens, Tennessee.
World War II. I can do that whole story off the top of my head.
Well,
World War II vets got together and cleaned house on the corruption. Thanks for all you do, and I hope this money helps y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We've talked about that a few times on this show. So,
yep.
I can off the top of my head.
Yep. Anyway. Mark. Yep. Got Mark with his third super chat of the time being on here. Thank you very much, Mark. No comment with that $5. Let's see. We got Sarkon. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of them tonight, gents.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Says, keep it going, you bastards. From one bastard to another.
Outstanding.
Okay.
Nice. Sean St. George coming back with $1.99. Cartels make for goods plausible deniability labor.
Good plausible deniability. I'm not going to speculate on air as to how one might do that, but I think I have some ideas.
So do I.
Next.
So do I.
Yep. And this next one, I'm not sure if he's still in the chat. I've been keeping an eye on it. I'm going to butcher his name because he is from Hawaii, or should I say Hawaii, to be correct and whatnot. But another $50 donation.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
He's probably from that city in Hawaii called Licky Madiki.
It's messed up. That's racist.
So I'm gonna do my best. I already said I apologize for butchering this.
I can pronounce it correctly. Throw it in the private chat real quick there. I can pronounce it correctly.
All right, let me there we go. We'll have Steve read off his name.
Kolohonoe Fudge Tasik. The last name's a little difficult. The first name is Kolohonoe.
Yeah, the
okay.
Doesn't sound like a Hawaiian name.
I would have had that part right then.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep. He says he's on the big island of Hawaii. We've got MS-13 here.
Wow, in Hawaii?
Yeah, and they have another city on the big island called Put It My Buddy.
One more time, and the Hillary videos come out.
Okay.
One more time.
Last warning, Pop. Last warning. I was gonna say, throw a straw at that bastard.
I threw a dick at him.
There we go. Oh,
God,
man.
that's funny.
Matt D with $5. He's got a couple of good questions. Why are we not protesting? Are we all scared of getting J6'd?
Well, I'm doing my protest right now by showing my face, telling the truth online.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my protest.
Yeah. Like I said, I show up at my county meetings. I'm there.
And like when I started with the whole, second class citizen thing, I mean, I never hid my name. I never hid my face. Yeah. It's me. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Got a Jolly with 5 Australian. He's got himself a dancing pair in there.
Outstanding.
Dancing pair. I got a Joseph Myers, $21. Says, y'all make my work days worth it. Thank y'all, Tuckers.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, man. Let's see. Damn it, some bitch. Bart Fine with $2. 90% of CCP has cataracts. The rest drive.
All right.
Rancon.
Well, first of all, I mean, we can probably do a whole show on the CCP and all the craziness that's going on over there.
There was a card joke in there. Cataracts and Rincons.
Yeah. I got it.
Oh.
I can tell Jimmy had stalled there for a second.
Yeah, that's all right.
I got you, Jimmy.
I got the guy that I went over my head. Oh man.
Oh.
Jam 3555 with $20. No comment there. So again, with the comments, if your comment doesn't show up, YouTube probably deleted it. It is what it is. But that was also Jam's first donation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hell yeah. We like seeing the new names in the chat and in the donations. You guys are awesome. Cool Cat, $5. Pop, do you have any advice on overcoming addiction to alcohol or drugs? I've seen it ruin lives of people. I love, salute all the men.
Well, with the drugs thing, I've never had any experience messing around with that stuff. I do know for the hard drugs, there's really nothing you can do until the person hits rock bottom and wants to actually do something about it. With alcohol, my opinion is this: if you start feeling physical effects of it, just cut back and then stop. That's what I did.
Yep.
I mean, I still have a drink here or there, but I'm not drinking 4 units of alcohol every single day, you know, I mean, or more, which is a problem. I remember telling my Russian doctor, he's like, Terrence, how many units of alcohol do you think you drink?
You're going to die.
I'm like, I don't know, probably about 120. Oh, really? He's like, uh-huh. You're going to die.
So when I got out, I was in a really bad place and I crawled into the bottom of the bottle.
I remember.
What I did to get out of that was to give myself a literal drinking problem. I just had to have a beverage in my hand, a bottle of water, a bottle of tea, whatever, because your body is craving the action. There you go. More than the substance.
Mm-hmm.
It does crave the substance. This is known, but you can retrain the brain. I know I did this to give yourself a literal drinking problem.
No, my situation with alcohol, what started me is I can't fucking sleep.
Right.
I use alcohol to help me sleep.
Yes.
And you can only do that a little bit here and there. I did it for way too long. Fortunately, I all my blood panels look good, and I am no longer going to tempt fate.
I was attempting a self shutdown.
Yeah, I understand.
At that time.
Look,
but
I know.
yeah, you can give yourself a literal drinking problem. Just water.
Yeah.
Just drink whenever you have the urge to drink some water
Or soda.
Or anything that's not alcohol.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
All right.
Best you can do. And last one here, we have our fellow Islander coming back, Kolo Hanoi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to pronounce that last one because I'm going to butcher it. It's $20. Says he's a Landu, by the way. Funny Pops. So he's liking the
he liked the jokes. Yeah, that's good.
The Hawaiian city jokes.
Oh God.
All right, jump over here to Rumble here. Got a Reynard 69. He's asking, what about the Mongols, Huns, and Rus? The Central Asian Plateau regularly had migrations of 10K people in a wave and a new wave each month for periods around a century at a time.
Yes.
That is true, but again, you're talking about the steppes in this particular case, and the Mongols were up to a particular thing. They were not migrating.
No.
The Mongols were Mongoling.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, there were people migrating who were in fear of being wiped out.
Well, yeah, they were running from the Mongols.
Because the Mongols, I mean, Genghis Khan killed 10% of the world population at that
and impregnated another 10%.
Yes. That guy's savage.
Yeah. What's the statistic? Like 1 in 10 people have DNA relating back to Genghis Khan? Yeah, that guy was too much of a fan of the snuggle struggle. Speaking of, before I don't go into that, we do have over 1,000 over on Rumble watching. We got 1,034 watching. Awesome. That's awesome. Right. Let's see. MX Stilgar. I said it right this time. Yeah. $2 says German cities and towns have areas the police won't go into because the Muslim form flash mobs on Twitter or wherever else and beat the shite out of cops. Yeah, I could see that happening in Dearborn.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, it's a tactic that Aunt Quifa does. They formalize and plan on Twitter, but they don't go around and beat shit out of cops.
And actually, we'll cover that when I do another zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, the security detail that you and I worked.
Yep.
A lot of the intel that I was getting, that I was feeding you guys, came off of that, and I've got the visuals, I've got the maps.
I had a little talking to with several Antifa guys who were casing the place.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Oh, coming back to YouTube here, Kolo Hanoi says corrected lady.
Okay.
$20. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nam. Thank you. You're awesome. Noted. Let's see. Reynard69 he says also with Islam has a 1400-year history of doing wave migration followed by revolution when jihad fails.
Yep. You are correct. It's built into their holy book.
Yep. And it's quite interesting when you look back to the pictures and the timeline back in the 70s before the whole shebang went off down over in that area of the Middle East. It was actually pretty westernized.
Tame. Yeah.
And
Iran was very westernized.
Yeah. Yeah. And you wouldn't be
the whole show. You guys want a history channel? That's a show for that.
Right.
I've got tons and tons and tons.
We'll have to do that then.
I'm telling you, History Night with the Battle Dwarf was going to be a good show.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Awesome. Figure something out.
All right.
Let's see. It's a me coming in with $20. Hey, Pop, thanks for the motivation on not using the permanent solution on my level up as I'm typing. Thank you all. Thanks for all you guys do.
Now, listen, if we kept you from ventilating your thinking meat to the oxygen, please send us your story. We'll issue a number.
Yeah. Yep. Hell yeah. We'll do that. And of course, Rumble doesn't like to have a super chat function. Yeah, we'll do that. Evil Zombie Toe coming in $10. Yep, I've mentioned this earlier. Mayorkas was just impeached by the House. It now goes to the Senate to decide his fate. Right after the Senate just voted to fund every border but our own.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And someone, J.D. Vance, a representative in the House, did a little digging into that Senate bill, and apparently there is language in there that says if any future president tries to stop foreign aid that Congress approves of, that's an impeachable offense.
Nice.
That's insane.
That's insane. That's not going to stand.
Yeah. And Congress back in the 40s, we need to put term limits on the president because not one man needs all that power. Yeah, there's people that have been in Congress that were born in the 40s and before that.
Yeah.
It's not the president that holds the power. It's the corrupt cocksuckers that are selling us out hand over fist.
Correct.
Yeah. K-Note 72, drug cartels in Port Orchard. I need that article. My nephew's in-laws live there, and my sister lives there in Gig Harbor.
Yeah, just Google it.
Yep. If you can't find it, articles and all the other stuff, redonkulas.com. Click on the video.
And usually we'll put all of the links at that. When the video's done, the links go right in the description.
Yep. I know that link is definitely in there because I put it in there myself.
Excellent.
Excellent, Smithers. Let's see here. Who else is super chatting over on Rumble? You guys got to do something here, man. I'm tired of scrolling through, but it is what it is. Angry Gringo LLC joining this army. None of these scumfucks will get deported.
Yeah. Well, right now, yes. When enough people move in the right direction, historically speaking, it will be bad.
Yeah.
And more than likely, everyone is going to be on the chopping block. It's just the way it goes.
Yep. Let's see. Real Stag popping in with $5. He's doing his part, Pop. Also sent you guys an article on a cop killed in Sheridan, Wyoming today.
What are the circumstances there?
I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
Lovely. That's awesome. Let's see. Nick Coldest with $20. He's saying thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Bro.
Thank you. Got a Killer B87 with $20. Keep up the good work. Yep. We are not going to stay silent. We are not going to remain silent. It does not matter if YouTube decides to give us the permanent proverbial penis punch.
Slap. Yeah, I gotcha.
That's why alt tech is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I highly suggest MGTOW if you're, if the conversation is a little dull, the chat will cheer you up.
Yeah, go
me.
there.
Winning. I got a
Bob Colbert about ourvoice.stream too.
Okay.
It's a new alt deck that just came out.
What's it called?
Our Voice.
Oh yeah.
We need to talk to him about that.
nice. Sean Minnesota Patriot $5 says, "Fuck around, find out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at some point that will happen.
Yep. Net guy 1975 $5. Hey Pop, if you're playing D&D and Hillary and Dina were the bad guys and you could only get one, which one would you pick?
I'd have to get Hillary.
That's fair.
Bigger threat.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'd rather get rid of Hillary than Vecna.
Well, Dina was forcibly retired from the military. There's fuck all she could do now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that, and we don't have any videos of Dina, but you know who we have videos of?
No!
Ah,
Why
all right.
would you do this?
I'm just kidding.
If somebody asks for it, play it at least once.
Or am I? Let's see. Net guy coming back. Jimmy and Steve, let's give Pop the AOC blue dildo. We haven't seen in a while, so here you go.
Still do that one time.
Again, gentlemen, don't stick your dick in crazy, especially if she is a psychotic former bartender that is a socialist that has a bachelor's in economics, but has no fucking clue on how economics works.
Correct.
Again, a degree from a modern American university is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine.
Yeah.
You are
Carry on.
correct.
So got a Tomahawk with $10. Been bugging LTC Steve Murray to get you guys on his roundtable.
Ooh.
He said he's trying. Would love to hear your input on his channel. Y'all are on the same page.
Yeah, send us an email.
Lieutenant Colonel who?
Yeah, send us an email in regards to this guy, and I'll look him up and try to get in contact with him.
I'll do
Yeah.
that contact.
All right.
Redonkulas12@gmail.com. Put your name in the subject bar so that we know who you are and give us some information. Got a GD Martin, 1907, $20. Doing what little I can. Appreciate it. Thank you, good sir. Net guy coming back. First dollar for your tree trimming business. Pick out a nice big wood chipper.
Yeah.
Winning. Yep. I prefer we'll take 3 different sizes. Don't you think, Steve, would be
That's what you said.
appropriate?
What?
Oh man. Let's see here. Looks like I'm trying to catch up in the chat here. Bear with
Well, you're
me
catching
here.
up. They're clearing a huge area on M24 just south of me,
Mhm.
And it was heavily forested. I saw something I've never seen before. It's an industrial wood chipper that's the size of one of those big dump trucks.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Oh yeah.
It's
Nice.
That's the one we need, Jimmy. We don't need 3 different sizes, man.
It's just the
We
big
need
one.
the big one.
See, and there's also those ones that are attached to like a backhoe, and they start from the top of the tree and go all the way down to the stump.
Yeah.
Those are also an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some budgeting on that one, see how that will work out.
Mhm.
Let's see. It's a me coming back with $20. Pop, Battle Dwarf, and Evil Shaggy. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You didn't put no homo in there,
No
bro.
homo.
You didn't put no homo in there, so you know what that means.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Where did that come from?
I did a little homework, so I got into the cloud there, and I got videos added to the lineup here. So
Yeah.
alrighty, let's see. That looks like that clears up all of the Rumble rants tonight. You guys are awesome.
I'm watching a bunch pass over YouTube over here again.
Yep, we got over 1,000 that cleared over there, and YouTube has got 770. Holy fucking shitballs. Speaking of YouTube, we got a few more chats over there. Wayne Brewason with $10, no comment. Again, if you did put a comment, YouTube probably nuked it, but we appreciate it. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Hot Dog 401 with $10 Canadians. He's in the gym training to become a beast.
Good.
Thanks for all you do, Pop. 514 out.
All right.
And Psychomech. Holy smoking Joe Frazier. Good, sir. Damn it. I had to scroll. Where is it at?
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
$100.
Thank you
Dropping
so
a
much, man.
Benjamin on there. Keep it real, guys. Love the content. Also, as memory serves, kinetic energy isn't stopped by plates. Something to remember, I'd say.
It's totally correct.
That is true.
That's
That
why
is-
I mean, when I got blown up,
Yeah.
I heard from the CA team that worked in that area.
Yeah.
They had EOD go to the crater and measure it.
Yeah.
That explosive was between 40 and 60 kilograms, and it detonated 8 feet off the front bumper to my vehicle.
Probably two 105s.
I don't know.
Two
But
105s.
the way it was explained to me is everyone in the vehicle with me survived enough blast energy to instantly kill a human being 4 times over. And I'm still here.
Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
something else.
Yep.
We could lighten that slightly. One of our first conversations when I first came back and you pulled my ass out of the mud, we were laughing about putting on the old flak vests and
Oh yeah, hit with the big hammer.
wooden mallet for driving into
Yeah!
large tent stake.
I did that probably got half a dozen times when
Yeah.
I was a dumb young private.
Yeah, Connecticut, hit me. Go flying back.
Yeah.
Yep. Then,
Times.
Yep.
and you guys would end up being the pair of guys that got drunk and decided
People
to
have
shoot each other with
no
bulletproof vests.
See how retarded the army used to be.
It was fun though.
Incredibly competent when we were operating. Total fucking morons when we were off duty.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the time you're dealing with dudes who are 21 years or younger.
Yeah.
So you have to your bullshit saturation level has to go up a lot.
Yeah.
So all right, let's finish
Carry on,
this.
carry
Let's
on.
get through these super
Carry
chats.
All right, let's see here. Just had a couple more coming from YouTube side. I got Terry MGA with $5. I wonder if they will try another border bill after they get the funding for Ukraine. I don't think so, unless they want to stop Texas Guard.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yep. And Demaster 12, $2. That homo suspicion point needs it to be its own video.
I agree.
Nice.
I did a whole video on homo suspicion points, and it was like my second or third video.
I cut that out into the shorts.
Yeah.
The whole series of homo suspicion points shorts.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
basically I'm just using math as a gaydar. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Math.
it was functional. It made sense.
Gaydar. Let's see here. How's the MGTOW chat here going here? Yeah, doing nice. We're doing good over there.
All right.
Alrighty.
Just looking at the boobage.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Let's see.
In my mouth.
Let's see. Crazy Uncle here coming in with $5. I have to say this, but the era of the tank/heavy armor is essentially over. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but FPV drones have been devastating entire battalions of Russian armor in Ukraine. If you haven't seen it, I can say, have a bottle on standby. Your thoughts?
I've definitely seen that, and
Well, again, we discussed this too. They're both sides over there are deploying tanks
stupidly.
as tanks. Tanks are a support element for infantry with air cover.
And here's another thing: is they're going to have to come up with some kind of defense against all of these drones, in some way, shape, or form.
Little mini Sea Whiz on the tanks in 22 caliber.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Yep,
Dude.
there you go.
Let's market that. That'd be awesome.
We'd have the ATF knocking on our door. Are you guys building a Sea Whiz? And
Why did you order 700,000 rounds of 22?
22 Magnum? No particular reason.
I got a squirrel problem.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which actually, I did have a third squirrel in the house. I had to kill it a few days ago.
oh, that happens.
That bastard.
Damn it. MGTOW Outlaw, tell your brethren to leave Pop alone. I'm sure he's in the chat there somewhere. Let's see. Single for Life coming with 3 in a row here. This first one, it's the CIA that killed the Sunday stream.
Maybe. Probably.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Again, gentlemen, we ask don't send in video links, especially YouTube ones, because we are not on alt tech.
Yeah, we have to vet those first. Guys.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah, we got to watch those.
only
I
takes-
will. Yep, I will send it to you though. He says, "Pop, watch this. It's getting real." So I'll have to watch this one.
If you want to send us videos for this show, try to send them a couple of days early. I will go through those and vet those.
Okay.
Yep. And whenever I forgot to do that today, but whenever I come home at lunch, that's when I'll try to do the social media links for all the videos and whatnot. That way, you guys know what what we're going to be talking about and whatnot. So then that way, if the video is of topic, we can take a look at it.
And I did actually post that on probably 21, 22 different pages on Facebook. Yeah.
Yep. And well, Single for Life, he's asking for it.
Oh, here we go. I hate that one.
It's okay. That's got to be one of the funniest. That's
man.
That's a car crash one too. You have the first time it comes on, you have to watch the whole thing all the way through because you're like, this has got to get better at some point.
You made the noise. Do it again. All right.
Oh yeah, it was
pretty good.
Sorry.
Let's see. Single for Life coming back again. Notice it's happening just before an election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Crazy Uncle with 2 in a row here. This first one. When the farmers get serious, bodies will stack. Reason: most of the guys will have to be able to hit a woodchuck at 400 meters. FYI, a woodchuck or groundhog is half the size of a human torso.
Yes.
Also,
I have them on my property.
Yep. Also, these men don't have time for bullshit and only want to be left alone. Fear the quiet man that wants to be left alone. Yes, no?
True story.
Totally true.
Yes. Because when the people that want to be left alone are forced to get involved, no mercy will be shown. And it's not going to be pretty.
I'll say it outright. I am old and fat now, and all I want to do is hang out with my dogs, take care of my chickens, and grow stuff on my little tiny farm. I just want to be left alone.
I'm just here to talk shit.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And save a few people's lives along the way with some wisdom and philosophy.
Yeah.
Yep. And Crazy Uncle's second one coming in. I heard about this. Did you hear about California, Kyrgyzstan? They're now trying to push $50 an hour minimum wage. Seriously,
Okay.
What in the fuck are they thinking?
They've already destroyed the California economy.
Yeah.
There's
Economy's toast.
it's
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I was just watching those videos on Oakland, California. It's a fucking ghost town. Like virtually all of the businesses are closed.
Yes.
Yeah. I will put this as a caveat. That's not really a legislative idea. It was brought up during one of the Democrat blah 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 bullshit.
And I'm telling you right now, that is a byproduct of the poor education that these idiots get.
Yeah, debates. That's the
They
word.
don't understand at all how money works,
Or critical thinking,
which is a whole other show.
Yeah, it's a whole other show. All right.
Yeah. And we had a good run. But Singer for Life. Here's $6 to help.
Thank you.
Play Hillbilly Hillary for those that didn't hit the like button.
God, no.
I fucking hate that one.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. Transformational Synergy coming in with yet another one.
We're not worthy. We're Thank you very much.
$50 says, "Ask and you shall receive at least once in a while." No problem. Though I enjoy the regular videos from the last few years, this video and the recent conga line and the other more serious videos are very welcome. We are in deep trouble, gentlemen. It's time to get moving and get ready.
Get cruising and moving. That's exactly right.
Yep. Holy fuck! It's Smoking Joe Frazier, single for life. God damn it!
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you so much.
Holy,
He's dropping a Benjamin on us, $100. Here's a few bucks to help out with the Buzz Fund.
All right.
nice.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hell yeah, thank you very much. Crazy Uncle coming in with the subject of tonight's stream is why I have a sign that says, "Warning, I have a rifle, a backhoe, and an alibi." Yeah.
Yeah, I have a cousin.
Yeah.
I have a cousin named Alibi.
There you go.
Nice. And looks like last one here on MGTOW. Speaking of MGTOW Ronan, $5. Gonzalo Lira, aka Coach Red Pill, God rest his soul, said that in this country we will see what happened in the Mexican Civil War, if I remember correctly. This will be marked by his pockets of skirmishes and local infighting all over the country. Even TFM years ago said that any kind of course correction in this country is going to result in bloodshed.
Correct.
Can't help but think of the quote from Terminator 2 from John Connor. "We're not going to make it, are we? People, I mean." No. And John Connor is looking down at us and in
Yep.
shame as we make friends with AI. Just say it.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah. All righty. We'll jump over here to Odyssey. Ali Card's asking for it, but we already played Sing and Pops, so how about a Boxwine and Catland?
Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop!
Dude,
That's just so weird.
I know, but Blake
What-
Blake made the original one,
Yeah.
and I remember he showed it to me the first time. I'm like, "You're a 15th level wizard,"
That's it. What prompted that?
because that was one of my sayings. Box wine 40 to 80 is a long time, and then welcome to Box Wine and Catland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you now. Carry on.
All right, carrying on. And of course, wrong tab here. And of course, Alucard, he's asking for a Killery, but you know what? Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's change it up a little bit. Have a little different flavor. How about some pool time with Pelosi?
You can't show that one. That was good,
There you
man.
I know Polska Bob will appreciate that one. He's a Pelosi fan. Let's see. Colonizer Grindset says in reply to a 10-7 style attack, another possible scenario that's been discussed is that there will be a false flag attack blamed on Hamas to force our troops to fight in Israel because
Or-
the Israeli diaper force won't do it on their own.
Or there will be some type of bullshit taking place, and they'll try to blame it on white supreme pizza.
Yes. Either or. Both are not out of the question.
No, you're right. They could do both.
Both are not out of the question.
Yep. Let's see. The garbage can. He's asking, have you considered doing a tour of Gettysburg?
Yeah, I've been through Gettysburg a couple times when I was in New York State, and I would like to go there and actually do a ghost hunt there if I could.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. I've heard quite a few stories about there.
Mhm.
So yeah, moving on. Ellie card coming back. Don't worry, he's not asking for anything. My folks still won't believe me on what's happening and said, "Oh, I'm listening to conspiracy theories again." And I'm done telling them.
Yeah, my mom
Occupation
does the
ground.
same shit. My mom says the same shit.
Yep.
Wait.
He said, "I'm done telling them Occupation P Grande is activated."
Gotcha.
Yep. And Squirrel Fewer sent in another YouTube video. Again, guys, we'll have to got to send those in a little earlier so we can vet them. And if they are on YouTube, we're probably not going to be able to play them just
Well,
for
you can also forward
copyright
them,
issues.
Jim.
Yeah.
You can forward them to Blake, and we could probably show them on Thursday.
Yep,
if
I
they-
got those saved. And the it's probably going to be a good one because his comment is cootie juices on my dishes, half-assed Joe Biden version.
Oh,
Ooh.
So you know
I
what?
I know the first reference.
Ah,
So the
I'm
half
gonna
Biden version might be pretty funny.
I'm going
Alright.
to post that link in the chat for everyone. So have a look and have fun. I'm going to also take a look at it and see what in the hell that is.
Carry on.
Let's see. Over on D Live, we got no lemons donated tonight. We got 7 viewers over there, and Twitch is rocking. How many? If it'll load, we got 15 over there.
Well,
All right. Up 16. Just went up one. Let's see. Jump in here on the emails here. We got a couple cash apps
all right.
from Paul. $20. He's asking for Singing Pop.
ah,
Got to play for that donation. Thank you there, Paul.
The
Hey,
mental scarring that we
I
go
know.
through on your behalf.
hey, I just sent you an email.
Yeah.
You need to put a shout out to a Marine Corps vet who's suffering from cancer.
Okay.
His name is Paul Harrell. He runs a YouTube channel where he shoots a bunch of guns, and he's got the meat target, and I like his videos. I sent him an email. He hasn't responded, but I still want to give him a shout out. If you guys can find his YouTube channel and subscribe, he could use all of the income
Okay.
he
We'll
could get.
put some shout outs there.
Yep.
All right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. His brother is actually taking over the YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and Donut Operator, Brandon Herrera, and a bunch of the other big gun tubers, they gave him a shout out. They wanted to push him over 1 million subs. They got him over 1 million subs, and they expedited his gold play button, so he has that.
Good. I just sent
He
you
has
the
that.
email, so you can, towards the end of the show, just show the picture with his YouTube channel, so we can get as much support as we can for this guy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. Let
I'll
me
do
double
four.
check here. Looks like I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try. Another cash app from Daniel. He's asking for Thick Girl Hillary.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Let me see if I could find it
Why do you
here.
torture us like these?
It's not me, man.
It's not.
I where's that? Is it this one? It's not that one, but there you
That
go.
will do.
That'll
That'll do.
That will do.
That's good enough. Hopefully that did good for you. All righty, we'll jump back over to YouTube here. We did have a couple more come in here. I want to make sure that
YouTube has a couple more come in.
Yep.
Wow.
We got a cool cat, $5. Guys, any advice for lonely young men who feel like the future is pointless? Oh, you bastard. And we can't talk about it because we're told to man up.
All right. First of all, you have to come to the realization that your peace is the most important thing that you have. That's number one.
Yep.
Number two, one of the best ways to deal with loneliness is to identify your purpose and focus on that. If you can't do that right away, pick a mission. Stick to that one until the purpose falls into your lap. It is what it is. You need to stay busy and do something positive.
I'm
Yep.
going to add to that, and I've been pushing people to do a lot more reading because it's part of our culture that we've lost. Listen, if you want to know what Pop's talking about, is called Stoicism, and you will find the kernel of that in Marcus Aurelius's book Meditations. It's in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, and it's book 11. Also, Plato's The Republic is a handful, but there's only one section of it you really need to read to deal with what Pop is talking about right now, and it tells you what's going on and how to overcome it. And it is Plato's Parable of the Cave in the Republic.
Yeah.
Plato's Parable of the Cave.
Yeah.
Aurelius's book 11 of my brain just stopped working.
All right.
Marcus Aurelius Meditations, book 11.
And
I have
also-
to say it in the correct order. That's what it was.
And here's the thing.
And then Plato's Allegory of the Cave.
That number on the board right there, 541.
Yeah.
All right. And Steve brought this up a couple weeks ago. He goes, yeah, you saved over 500 dudes' lives. And you're just fucking around. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I guess you are right. But in this book is the power behind that number. You just buy the book, and literally you can unfuck yourself if you take it to heart.
Yep. Link tree is in the Meat Gazer box there if you guys are looking for it. And again, I do want to point this out. If you guys are supporters on Subscribestar, Locals, or Give Send Bro, shoot us an email so that we tell us what site you're a supporter on and your username there. We will get you guys into Gilded.
Yes.
Subscribestar has $1 a month subscriptions. I'm not I can't remember what the Locals ones are or what the Gifts and Bros ones are, but we have our own private little community that we all hang out with. Great fucking bunch of guys over there. A lot of the guys, if you watch other content creators, Red Pill Rhino, he's got his own server over there. We got a bunch of other dudes that are normal donators and all this other stuff. The mods are there. Great fucking community. We are always there. Download the app. It's simple and easy to work. If you know how to use Discord, you'll pick it up right away. And again, it's just another outlet for anybody that's a supporter. You guys want to join in, shoot us an email, Pop will forward it to me. I'll cross-reference your information. We'll get you in there. Trust me.
Outstanding.
All right. Terry MGA coming in. Do you think Biden will make it to the election? No, he will be replaced.
They're putting it in motion right now.
They're already trial ballooning it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
not going to work out well.
Yeah, the what's the guy's name? The Hunter's former business partner, Bob Ulinsky or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went on the stage today and said, "Oh yeah, they're this is everything that they're doing pretty much." So yeah. Let's see. Adjorin with $20. His first donation over here. Pop, a longtime supporter on Locals. Are there other ways to support? Love y'all's content and stories, but I hate helping out YouTube and their fuckery any more than I need to.
Stripe. It's on the website, redonkulas.com. We have
Stripe, Cash App. Those are the best ways because they 100% of the funds go straight towards redonkulas.com. Linktree is in the Meat Gazer box there. All of the links are right there. And you can find that out. Let's see. Outcast of the Maggot people. Just had to pronounce that just in case, YouTube is listening. Says Stoicism. Read the book of Psalms.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
Yep. All right. Let's see. We'll jump over to Rumble here. Reynard69. Thick girl Hillary is everybody wants a thick girl right in their face until they have a thick girl right in their face. And it's like, ooh, I can't breathe. Dude, it is very disturbing. Quite disturbing.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like that is it for the chats over there. Let me jump over to MGTOW.tv, the best chat on the internet, gentlemen. Just telling you. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
Ooh, very good stuff.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
There we go. Jail.
That's so expensive.
Ugh.
Read that.
No. Let's see. And looks like the last time last chat over on Odyssey is from Ali Card. Pop, Pelosi called. She wants Hillary back. Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's terrible. All righty. And it looks like that is it for the night. No new cash apps have come in as of yet.
YouTube one more time.
And YouTube looks like we are all caught up there.
Did you cover all the ones on the MGTOW?
Yeah.
Yep.
You just-
MGTOW is all good, and Rumble is all caught up. So it looks like we are at the cutoff point. So I guess it is time, Pop, for our safety briefing.
All right. If you have any new viewers out there, I'm a retired first sergeant. It was always my duty to give a safety briefing every Friday before I released the troops to do their fuckery, because they always did. And here it is. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It doesn't work out. If you must fornicate, wear a condom, take it with you, or flush it down the toilet. If you have to engage in hand-to-hand combat, do everything in your power to run away first. And then do everything in your power not to go to the ground, because that's where you get stomped out. And it's always best if you have friends with you. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. Keep your head on a swivel and maintain your situational awareness, because if you don't and you get complacent, you just might die. All right. And do not make permanent decisions or actions for temporary problems. Because guess what? Play for fucking time. Time will always offer opportunities. If you're dead, you will never get them. There you go. All right.
All righty. Battledorf, any words of wisdom from your side of the spectrum?
In the gentle words of my former profession in the intelligence industry, nothing significant to report.
I like it.
All righty, gentlemen. We appreciate you guys hanging out, and the ladies in the chat. And also, gentlemen, I just want to remind you, if you say you love us, you better say no homo, or else.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Take us
All
out.
right, gentlemen.
All right,
We'll see
take
you
it
in the
easy.
next one.